Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of GeekVerse podcast. I am one of your hosts, the damnation Taylor Field, and I'm joined by...
Hey, I'm the Adam Hart caster, Dylan Less.
Yes, and we are here, ladies and gentlemen, for another round of Weekly Geek. We got a plethora of topics, trailers, and juicy news to just break down and discuss with you guys. It's going to be a good time, but before we get into all of that, a couple of plugs. You can find us with your internet connection in the search bar. GeekVerse.ca is our home base. GeekVerseCast is our Twitter, and GeekVerse is our Facebook. And be sure to check us out on the Patreon, because you can get ad-free exclusive content available there. It is a great place to be. Tons of fantastic things. I also want to shout out the Patreon producers. These folks are just, they're amazing, absolutely amazing. Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Jack Grant, Sam, Superbad Mike, Good God Loves Me 69, Jeremy Renner, Charlie Rendell, Cocktail Clay, and John with no H.
He's H-less.
He's H-less, yeah. Three letters. Whether you're a John with 4 letters or you're a John with 3 letters or you're a Johnny, we welcome all Johns.
Jonathan
Johnny's.
as well.
Jonathan, of course. Can't forget Jonathan's. Yeah. What do you got popping off on the side quest side of things right now?
Last week, I can't remember. What was last week? Was it Donkey Kong last week, or was that 2 weeks ago? I think that was
You
last
tell
week.
me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was Donkey Kong Bonanza last week. And this week, I think I'm joined by Travis again. We're going to be talking about some Marvel things. We'll probably talk more about Donkey Kong, because I'm hoping Travis has rolled credits on that bad boy now. We can talk about
Have
that
you?
a little bit more. I did
Nice.
for the first episode, but I didn't want to spoil anything for my co-host there. But yeah, I'm deep in the Bonanza world, so yeah, should be a good time. Yeah.
Nice, very nice. What else do we got popping off? It's been a busy month. We have Jurassic World Rebirth review. We got Superman review. We just did Fantastic Four review, first step. So lots of stuff that's popping off. We're still doing the Dexter Resurrection reviews. Those have been going pretty good. Those are weekly.
The retros, our 10-year retros, we all picked one of our, I was going to say favorite movies, but I guess that's not necessarily true. But we all picked a movie we wanted to talk about. So those are, I think, all out on the feeds now. If not, almost all of them are good to go.
They're almost all of them, because I think Kirkland's, I was looking at the calendar, Kirkland's is coming out soon, if not already. Yeah, and on top of that, that was a good show. Yeah, we got August 9th. This is our legendary GeekVerse 10-year celebration. It was a big event. Tons of stuff popping off. Travis has been working so hard to do tons of things for that show. We're going to be gathering up together and doing 10 hours for you guys, and we'll be increasing the time. Or more. Yeah, depending if we get new subs and subscriptions and all that kind of fun stuff. So it could be a good time. Check that out. It's going to be fantastic. On top of that, we just did a huge crossover with the Geek Ultimate Alliance network. So that was tons of fun just to catch up. We haven't done that. It's been a while since we've teamed up with them to kind of just talk all the latest and greatest content and news. So it's a fun time. It's a good 2 hours.
Super fun.
Other than that, I think, reviews. Alien Earth is coming up. So lots of stuff. Just subscribe to us. Check out the social media feeds, everything. You'll get all the latest and greatest content and updates there. Before we get into this, which our first topic will be Fantastic Four related. Dylan, Detoll in the chat, he's asking you the
Yeah. Did I watch F4? So I have not seen F4 yet, so apologies, because maybe this conversation could go a bit deeper, but I don't want to get spoiled. So
we're going
spoilers.
spoilers.
Surface level. But essentially what happened is, because I don't think I've said this on a cast, I of course was going to be on the Fantastic Four review, but I had a work thing come up, and it was a tricky thing. I could have probably got out of it, but it would have been kind of rude to certain people in attendance. So I was like, I'm going to go to this thing, and I'm like, there's a chance this work event's going to end early enough that I can skate my way over to the theater. I was at work all day, so speed run to this event, speed run to the theater, speed run home, and then make it for the review. It would have been a crazy day. But it didn't end up quite working out. I have a ticket. I bought a ticket. I didn't get a refund because I was hoping I was going to make it there in time. So I am... Sorry, you have a revelation.
No. I'm shocked you bought a ticket but didn't get a refund.
Well, because I thought up until the showtime was starting that maybe there was a chance I was going to get there. Up until 20 minutes before, I'm like, maybe I can get to this thing in time. And if I have to miss the trailers and the Avatar Fire and Ash trailer, I'm okay with that. As long as I get to the movie in time. Even if I miss 20 minutes of the movie, I'm like, you know what? That's fine. I can say that I didn't. We'll never have to admit that to the fans. You guys can pretend I saw it. You can fill me on what happened. But it didn't work out, so I didn't see the movie, and I bought a ticket. So that's fine. I'm keeping the MCU alive with my ticket purchase, and I do want to still see it, of course. I would like to see it before, like as soon as possible, pretty much. I'm thinking a cheap Tuesday, but for eagle-eared listeners, it is currently cheap Tuesday in this second. So obviously, I can't go to the theater right now. But maybe next week. I don't know if I have a podcast to do next Tuesday, but if not, maybe I'll go see it next Tuesday and share my thoughts at that time, because I love me some MCU, so I do want to see this movie for sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
Detail. Cool. So, our first topic of the night that we're breaking down is that Robert Downey Jr. So we all know that they're Doom and whatnot. He came out for Comic-Con last year, or maybe it was Comic-Con. He came out talking Doom. Big reveal. So there are some B-tier rumors going around right now that he is in talks to stay on as Doom after they do this big reset that is supposedly coming our way eventually here. What do you know about the reset? Have you explored that a little bit?
Not a whole lot. I feel like I don't know the whole situation there. Can you explain to me in layman's terms?
To the best of my ability, yes, they're looking at basically resetting the multiverse, the MCU. So I take it as new Iron Man, all that kind of stuff, and I think this is just their way of kind of doing like a clean slate, not necessarily
many
a
characters
reboot.
Will go forward still, so it's just some people getting.
I don't know about like characters that are already established moving forward into this universe, because I don't see it as necessarily.
I
being
don't think they
reboot.
even know, right? So
I don't think they know.
Flying
Only
by the seat
Feige
of their
knows.
pants. And even does he know? I don't even know if he knows.
No, a lot of miscommunication.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's intended to be a reboot. I think it's just supposed to be a eventually, how far can you run this ship, right? All these projects. We saw them try to bite off more than they could chew with all the shows and the spin-offs, and that's not necessarily working very well for them. That's why I like Fantastic Four so much, because it captures that old Marvel magic that those earlier MCU projects had.
Okay. I like that.
But another thing is that this Doctor Doom is rumored to be from this Fantastic Four universe.
Right, which is not like mentioned in the movie, right? You can spoil that, I guess. Okay,
No.
It's not a thing in there.
Yeah, we
that's
just don't know.
I guess it's hard for me to pick your brain about that too much without going into like too much spoiler territory, because obviously that character of Doctor Doom is very closely tied to those characters, obviously in the backstory of it. So I don't even know. Hard for me to dig too deep on that since I haven't seen that new film at this point in time. But yeah, I mean, like obviously there's been a lot of talk lately, I feel like, about the nature of Marvel and how they make these movies, and with Rebecca Romijn coming out here and being like, oh yeah, the script's not done yet, even though they're like filming and making this movie right now. And there's a lot of layers to that of like, okay, well, yeah, maybe the script like is done, quote unquote, but like she only sees like part of it, or maybe it is still being written on the days they're going to shoot. And so it's like, if they're doing that, like I don't know, I don't even know if they know if at this point in time if Doctor Doom is going to survive or die. But once again, if it's a multiverse thing, even if he does die, there could still be another one. Look at Kang, and we've seen that before. So I don't know. That it's a really tricky situation, and I'm curious how do you feel now? Because it's like been a whole year pretty much since we got that Doctor Doom casting. Like, how do you feel about that now? Because I feel like when we got the initial news, I was not a fan of it. I just feels like a bit goofy. Like, okay, we're gonna reuse this guy who was our main character. Now he's a villain. And then I think just over the months, it's like I'm just so used to it now that I'm like, I guess I'm fine with it. This is just what it is. From just a point of survival. Like, okay, well, this is the movie I'm gonna get. I might as well like buckle in and get ready for it. And then I feel like now that we're talking about this, and like maybe the potential of this character is going to persist for years and years, and not just be like a 2-movie villain, and maybe more. Maybe if he pops up in Spider-Man, we've theorized that might be a thing too. Like I don't know if I want that. Like, what are we going to do after Doomsday and Secret Wars? Like, are we not going to have defeated him yet? Is he still going to be around as a villain? Is he going to come into the hero side? Does he convert into Iron Man? Like, is that like the story? Like he turns into
full
Tony Stark
circle
or something crazy? Yeah, like I don't know. So it seems a little goofy, like no matter which way you slice it. And I think even though I'm more okay with the casting of it now, I still kind of think it would be good if he was just like a two movie villain arc. Once again with maybe a little bridge project in between the two Avengers, and then we just say sayonara, and then we go like sayonara, and we go on to the next character villain X-Men phase, whatever is going on there. But I guess that's more maybe what I would want instead of him lingering around, loitering in the parking lot of the MCU.
Yeah, just trying to make more royalties for himself or something like that. But I agree. It needs to be done tastefully and properly because I don't know how long you really keep him around for. I mean, with Thanos, in his defense, I mean they brought him in. I mean, the first Avengers, he was kind of in the background. I can't remember if he appeared in any other projects prior to Avengers, or if Avengers was the first time we
He
saw
was like
him.
a Guardians post credit or something, right? Something like that.
Yeah, but Guardians was after the first Avengers, right?
Yes, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's tricky because when you see
He
first
really
see
was not in
Thanos,
much until the Avengers.
he wasn't in
movies.
much.
Yeah,
No,
like,
he
was just
existed.
kind of sprinkled, right?
That's exactly it. And so maybe that's something that they'll eventually want to do with Doom as a character. Maybe they'll start doing like sprinkle him around. I don't know, but that would definitely give it the Thanos kind of treatment, I guess. And you can't just keep him around after the fact. You get to that Avengers movie, then he's got to go capiche. But what other projects? So we got Spider-Man, and how many other projects before we get to Doomsday?
Before Doomsday, I don't think there's. Well, Spider-Man's after Doomsday, right?
Oh, is it after Doomsday? Oh my gosh! See, I'm getting the timeline all murked up here.
Is there even anything? Yeah, let me check the MCU calendar right now.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Aside from the shows, because there's a couple more
'Cause
shows.
You got Wonder Man coming up pretty soon here.
Mhm.
Eyes of Wakanda's coming out. Zombies is maybe this year. You got a Spider-Verse thing. Maybe we get another X-Men season. Armor Wars, that's not happening. No, I don't think there's any other movie actually. Yeah, I think we're just shows and maybe they sneak a special in there or something. But I think Doomsday is actually the next movie.
Interesting. Okay, then it'll be very, very. I feel like that movie's gonna have a lot of weight on its shoulders then to be introducing this dynamic of this a main character we have not seen before, and then what? Yeah, end his story in Secret Wars. That doesn't seem right. So I get, but it goes hand in hand with the rumor. Like he's in talks to stay on as Doctor Doom afterwards. So I mean, his story's not going to end in Secret Wars. He's going to keep on sticking around. And
Well, let me ask you this, like, and once again, spoiler light on the F4 side, but do you, after seeing that movie and knowing that they're like appearing in these Avengers things, like, do you expect there to be a Fantastic Four 2? Is that like something that's going to be announced soon? Like, obviously, they don't usually do that until the prior movie has released, but do you expect like that sequel in the next 3 years? Like, do you think that's going to just be one of those ones that gets a trilogy or a duology? Like, what do you think's happening there?
I think it's. Yes, I think it's gonna get a sequel. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, and even though it's Fantastic Four, you can still like switch up the team. I know like there are kids in there. I don't know what happens with them at the end or anything, but like even if one of them dies or multiple of them die, even in Avengers or otherwise, you can still like have a Fantastic Four movie with a mix-up of the team, and that would actually be kind of fresh and different from the other live-action ones we've seen too. So, yeah, that's also potential. Like, okay, maybe they could dig more into a Doom Fantastic Four storyline, because I feel like no matter what we get in Doomsday or Secret Wars, like that's going to be spread pretty thin among a million other characters that are going to be appearing and popping off, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like I don't know how much we're going to dig into like the Victor Von Doom and like their backstory of the F4,
Well, yeah, and this is not a spoiler, but at least with the Fantastic Four, they didn't necessarily waste a lot of time on their backstories. Like it's not the origins like the previous Fantastic Four movies were, and I mean they were advertising that for a while. So I think they did a good job at it, and it kind of like the bullet points, the Cliff Notes version of just like, okay, here's what happened, moving forward, here we go, present day. And I think you don't want to see that really with a villain, but well, no, because Thanos had that. Thanos was just there. He was just evil and doing things, and then you got that little bit of his past when he was talking to Doctor Strange in Infinity War, and he's like, "This is my world. It's beautiful. It died off,
right?
So maybe you get something like that with Doctor Doom.
And even then, you can fill in some more of his character, like through Gamora and Nebula as well. I can't remember how much they like did of that in the Guardians movies versus just that being in the big screen thing. But you can do it that way. Not that I think that they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna make it that Victor Von Doom was like a college friend of them back in the day. Maybe they could go that route. I guess they could and pull like the, Spider-Man Mysterio thing where he's like in the background. It's like the same
Oh
thing.
God, that
With
pissed a
Tony
lot of
Stark up
people
on the
off.
stage and then Mysterio in the back corner, like maybe we get that same shot of Doom and the Fantastic Four or something. That'd be a fun callback.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be interesting to see what they do.
What would you prefer? Doom 2 Avengers movies done? Doom continuing on afterwards?
I mean, I want him to continue. I want him to continue afterwards. I feel like that's very important because he's just
Okay.
a great villain. Like, what if is this exclusively like the Robert Downey Jr. version? Let's say, okay, if
Yes.
they do him, okay, so we could get a
Specifically
different actor playing Doom afterwards.
No. I mean, for my question, I'm asking just Doom, just Doom as Downey. Downey as
Uh,
Doom.
no, I want him to stick around afterwards. Like
Okay.
2 movies and done. That just doesn't feel
Wow.
right to me. I would
Okay.
like Doom to stick around a little bit longer. He was always a highlight for me, and that Fantastic Four, and then Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I loved him in that movie when he gets on the board and he's just so freaking like beast mode and just like power crazy, and he's just such a cool villain. When I was a kid, him and Green Goblin were the 2 villains that I always play as, pretend to be on the playground, just causing
Nice.
destruction, throwing pumpkin bombs and all that.
You were
kind
throwing
of stuff.
pumpkin, just chucking gourds at people. Huh?
Just
Did
rocks.
you have like
yeah.
a skateboard or something? Like what were you using as your glider and your surfboard?
Oh, nothing. No. So I was just like floating around the playground, just pretending that
yeah.
I was on
Nice.
something. Yeah.
Were you specifically like Defoe's Green Goblin?
Oh yes, because
Yeah.
that's what came out at the time when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was just Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 2. So that was all the rage.
Nice. I can picture that. That's a very vivid imagery in my head. You playing as those characters in the playground. I can
Oh
see
yeah, that and Pirates of the Caribbean. That was a good time.
it. Oh, coming up later.
Yeah. Yes. Well, do you have anything else you want to add to this topic?
No, I don't think so.
Don't think so. Okay, well, we're going to skedaddle on to still in the Marvel train. We're going to be talking some Doctor Strange 3
yeah.
here. So, have you read this comic before? Do you know anything about this?
Absolutely not. Well, I've not read it, but I have read the Wikipedia synopsis of what it is. That's about as
Okay.
much reading as I've done of it.
Well, that's perfect. That's perfect. Damnation is the story that they are rumored to be adapting. And in the story, Doctor Strange is battling Mephisto.
Mm-hmm.
And Mephisto is basically trying to take over Las Vegas and turn into like a whole new hell on Earth. Yeah, what do you think of this?
Yeah. Well, first of all, have we ever seen Las Vegas in the MCU? Like, I can't think of a project in which we've been to Vegas.
I want to say it's maybe in one of Tony Stark's adventures. Maybe he's doing like an expo is there or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe something like that. Or maybe like in What If Season 3, like Howard the Duck is like there hanging out or something with Darcy
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Possibly.
But yeah, I feel like it's kind of untapped. Like we've hit a lot of the big American cities, but I can't recall like a big Las Vegas themed thing in the past. So that could be fun as a setting. I mean, this is very exciting for me because I love Doctor Strange 1 and 2. I think both those movies are great. Some of my favorite MCU stuff. I love the character of Doctor Strange, and I love a lot of the stuff that we got introduced to in specifically Multiverse of Madness. Some of the new characters that we have set up here. As far as Damnation, when I was reading through it, like none of it, like in terms of the key players, the main characters that are in this like comic book run, this series, aren't really big deals in the MCU. Like they're not really built around those characters. So I think they would really just take that bare bones idea of maybe a Las Vegas setting, Mephisto as the villain, of course, and then like kind of build it up around there, and instead use like the characters that we actually do have right now, and maybe you throw 1 or 2 new ones in the mix, but. And like I don't know, I was reading that like there's all these Ghost Rider versions of all these big characters, which I thought you would like. But I looked at the images and like it wasn't that exciting. Unfortunately, it wasn't like as creative as what was it like? What If? Was it What If when we got all those like weird hybrid versions of the characters? Yeah, like it wasn't quite as fun as like seeing those images. But obviously, like Ghost Rider, being a big part of that, and a bunch of other characters. I didn't see anything about Clea, who obviously was Charlize Theron, like teased at the end of Multiverse of Madness. So I imagine you don't throw away a big actress like that. Like obviously bring that character in, so it doesn't seem like she is really relevant to that storyline in the comic run. But obviously, I think in this version, this adaptation, we would get that. America Chavez as well. I didn't really see that, but I would hope that she would be brought into the third one, used in some way. Wong is a big part of that original one, and he's in there too, of course. There's an interesting thing. Apparently, Loki was like the Sorcerer Supreme at one point, and like this is part of the story of this is that Strange is like taking that mantle back from Loki. But I don't think that we'd go down that route in terms of where Loki is currently at in the MCU. But yeah, I think there's a lot of fun to be had here, and obviously Mephisto was set up in Ironheart. I've not seen that yet either. I'm a little behind on my MCU projects at the moment, but I gather he's more of like a tease. Like I don't know. I forget if you've seen that, right?
I've only watched the first episode, but I skipped and watched the scene.
So it's
Yeah.
one scene Mephisto.
I believe it's just one scene. Yeah.
Who's cast as the character, or is it just like a CGI faceless situation?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh right, okay, I did know about that. Is he being silly in it, or is he being?
No, he's very serious, but he's very charismatic, and I think that's what you want for that character, right?
I mean, there's a ton of comedians who obviously have that range to them. I've only seen him do the Borat zany stuff, but I think it's a cool casting. I think it's interesting. To have him as the villain of the third Doctor Strange movie seems crazy, but also kind of exciting. I kind of love that. So, I think I'd be very down for that. I like the setting. I like this potential idea that like maybe Mephisto would kind of be our stepping stone into this kind of supernatural realm more so, and get like obviously we've got some of that stuff like more so with the first Doctor Strange, obviously with Dormammu, right? But I was like kind of scratching the surface to some extent. We've always have been. So I think there's a lot of potential to be had here. I really like this idea, and if anything, I just, oftentimes with these rumors, we're always trying to gauge is there fire behind the smoke or is it just smoke? But the moral of the story is like when we're getting rumors like this, it's usually like, okay, these projects are in the works, they're working on this stuff, and I desperately want that third Doctor Strange movie and fourth and a fifth. Like I just love that character so much. I hope we just keep getting more and more. And obviously, Multiverse of Madness was a big deal at the box office. It made quite a bit of cheddar cheese. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. I hope this is a storyline we go down. I think it makes sense. Mephisto, Doctor Strange, pair them up, get some other freaks in there. Let's get into that realm. Get Ghost Rider in there. Like I think there's a lot of potential, and I want it. I want it really bad. This would be like really top of the heap in terms of excitement for me in MCU if this gets kind of more confirmed or if we hear more murmurs of this one.
Yeah, and it's funny because I thought that we would be getting the Mephisto character a lot sooner. I thought that we would be getting them in. I want to say Doctor Strange
a few years ago that everyone was like hinting. Like, was it Doctor Strange 2 that people were kind of the rumors were circling about that?
I think it might have been that, and I think I was definitely one of those people that suspected it because you have that,
you were the one spreading the rumors.
I started it.
You.
Yeah, that was me. You have other things like devil appearances. Maybe it was WandaVision as well. I
feel like it could have been WandaVision, but that seems like a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. There's so many different projects where there were little nudges towards it. Heck, even in She-Hulk, I thought we were going to get Mephisto popping up in there too at one point because we got Hell. It looked like a Hell kind of realm with the demon things. They're coming out of the portal, and Wong and She-Hulk are fighting them. If you remember that scene,
I don't remember that scene. That's crazy, and I love that show. I don't know what's going on.
Even the character Madison, she like made a deal with some guy. Remember, she was bragging about that. She made some deal and whatnot. And
God, I gotta rewatch this show. My God.
Yeah, there's so many little nods towards Mephisto throughout the MCU. So to finally have him, it's awesome. And I think to get him in his full appearance as a villain in this Damnation run, I'm all for it. I think that sounds freaking awesome. When I was looking at the team that Doctor Strange has, the allies, I guess, that he works with. You got Wong, so that's classic. Yeah, Ghost Riders, Johnny Blaze, Scarlet Spider, Elsa Bloodstone.
I don't think we're getting Scarlet Spider. I just think with the rights, we're not going to, quote unquote, it wouldn't be a waste, but they would see it that way as a waste of one of their potential appearances. Probably cost a lot of money.
It would be. Yeah, but Dr. Voodoo, have you heard of him before?
I have heard of him, but I don't know much about him.
I don't know
Couldn't
much
give
either.
you his biography. No.
Mr. Knight, which would be cool to see him pop up again. I'd be totally down. Just he doesn't need his own project again. No No more log truck scenes, but throw him in with Doctor Strange. That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty hype.
Yep, good move. Yep.
Man Thing. I'm a huge fan of Man Thing. Ever since he popped up
Yeah.
in Werewolf by Night, I loved him. I'm pretty sure, what was his name? Ted? Is that his
Ted.
name?
Mhm.
I can't remember what his name was, but yeah, super cool dude. Blade. I don't know if we'll see Blade in here though.
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably not on that one. Not till we get the Blade movie, which Marvel keeps affirming that they're making it happen.
Making it happen. And then there's a character called Ghostly Bats. Have you heard of Ghostly Bats?
That's a new character. I don't know who that is. No.
That's just, and even a Ghostly Bats. That's just what. Oh, Bats. He's a dog. Oh, Bats was
Bats.
a.
Okay.
He's a bass hound.
Ghost dog. Okay.
Original owner of 16 years suffered a heart attack and left him in a shelter. He was adopted 2 other times and was left under the care of Stephen Strange during the time he became a veterinarian after being deposed from his title of Sorcerer Supreme. Strange Enchanted Bats was a translation spell that allowed people to interpret Bats' barks as English. That's pretty cool.
People love bats, or sorry, people love dogs is what I meant to say. I don't know if people love bats. I'm sure people do. I've never heard of them though. Iron Fist is another one. I don't know if you mentioned him, but do you think this would be a realm to get Iron Fist in here, or is he kind of?
I'm waiting for Danny Rand to make that comeback. Let's pop him back in. Same actor from the Netflix show. I'd be game. I'd be down. But I like Iron Fist as a character. And when we're watching What If, I think either you or Kirkland highlighted the Iron Fist kind of little Easter egg that was in the What If season, the final season of What If.
Okay.
I think it was that Western train episode they had.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
some
Elsa
cool
Bloodstone
characters.
as well as another one I'm seeing is potentially related to. So
Yes,
once again,
and
get
she's
all those
introduced.
Werewolf by Nights, get all the Moon Knights, get them all in there for sure. That's where they belong. 'Cause I don't know if we're getting a Midnight Suns movie, but just make the Doctor Strange movie the Midnight Suns movie. You know.
Yeah,
what we did.
absolutely. That's all. That's all we need. I really want it. It's not like they're Avengers. Like they're like the Midnight Suns. They're an alternate kind of team, and it'd be cool to see them all as Avengers. Detoll. Iron Fist is in Eyes of Wakanda.
This
I did not
is
know
news
that.
to me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is. Well, I was gonna say excited. I don't know if I'm that excited about that, but maybe it'll be cool. So I guess he's getting introduced.
Detail, can you confirm, is that in the trailer that dropped recently where you see him? Because I did not catch that. What are your sources? I need to know this.
What's the source? And is there an actor? Is it the same voice? Is it the voice of the guy who played him in the Marvel Netflix?
I doubt it is. I'd
That'd
be
be crazy.
surprised. Yeah, Man Thing, Ted Salas. Yeah, okay, his name was Ted. I knew it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else on that except for the fact that Mephisto, just like the previous Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom, is supposed to play a big role in supernatural projects after
Right.
the Great Reset. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mephisto seems like a big deal of a character. He seems to me like on the tier of a Kang. And obviously that's like a dirty word now in the MCU. But in terms of like him being a villain, that you're not just one and done. He's not just, he's not just in one movie. The heroes defeat him. He's killed or otherwise dispatched. And we never see him again until like some weird multiverse thing. Like I think he's a character that sticks around. Now, obviously, you still want a movie to have a big final ending where the heroes defeat the bad guy. But I'm there's a million ways you could have, the devil, the old slinky Redfoot. You could easily make him persist past like being quote unquote defeated in this one movie, right? So I think this makes sense. And yeah, even if it's not, I'm not saying he should rise up and be the next Thanos, Doctor Doom, but I think it would be cool if he was kind of just this underlying villain that appears in multiple projects, kind of weaves this other realm together. And so it's kind of just this B plot, I guess, in the MCU. That sounds like I'm putting it down, but I mean that in the best way possible. Just like this other fun little thread that you can connect between these projects, which apparently now starts with Ironheart potentially, which is a weird place for it to start. But I don't know. I think this is a cool thing, and yeah, I just want more and more characters from that realm of Marvel. I think it fits. I think it works. We've seen it before, and so yeah, I hope this happens. And I think make them stick around for a bit too, because Mephisto's a villain, a Marvel character I know almost nothing about as well. So for me, this is gonna be fun to really get introduced to this character in a big way for the first time, because yeah, in all the games and movies and TV shows that I've watched over the years in Marvel, Mephisto's one I always hear about, but I've never actually seen a project with the character in there. So I don't know what he's about. I don't know his vibe. So I'm excited to learn about that.
Yeah. Now this could be something that I'm just not fully aware on, but when I'm with the Ghost Rider, I mean, you have Mephistopheles, who I guess is the same as Mephisto, correct?
Is that a
Yeah,
is that
that was a
quiz question
question.
for me?
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
know who
not a quiz.
Pherecycles is. Who's Pherecycles?
Mephistopheles, I think that's
Mephistopheles, okay.
Mephisto, I'm assuming, because it's literally the same name. But because Mephistopheles is the
okay.
guy that gave Johnny Blaze his powers, at least in the Nick Cage movie.
That sounds like Mephisto to me. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess anything whenever the fact that we've seen Mephisto on here, it just makes me feel like, okay, we're one step closer to Ghost Rider. And if Damnation is true,
And yeah, there is smoke for Ghost Rider right now. I think we're getting him soon.
yeah,
Your time's to come here, Taylor.
the time's to come. Do you think it could be Nick Cage, or do you think it's gonna be someone new?
Maybe one time, like how we got Snape's blade one last ride.
Mm.
But I think they're gonna cast someone else to be him going forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
But if there's any
Cool.
movie to have a weird multiverse in which a different Ghost Rider comes in for one scene and dies or doesn't, it would be a Doctor Strange movie. That would be that was many of the rumors for multiverse, right?
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I could see it where if it is all multiverse and whatnot, you got Johnny Blaze from like another universe, Nick Cage's version, and he comes and he's about to die and he like sees a Johnny Blaze in his universe or in this other universe, this other multiverse, and he like gives the spirit of vengeance over to him and he becomes the main Ghost Rider. Kind of like in
Hands it down,
Spider-Verse
yeah.
when the spider comes and jumps universes and like bites Miles Morales,
Right.
kind of a deal.
Yeah. I like that. That's fun.
Yeah. Lineage. Do you have anything else you want to add to these topics?
No, I think so. I think not.
I think not. Okay, we're going to take our first ad break and we're going to break down some trailers. We'll be right back. And we are back. Okay, so we've got some beautiful, wonderful trailers, and I'll let you start. I know where I'm going to start, but I'm going to let you take us in on the trailers. What do you want to run with?
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. We may not have had any Star Wars trailers here, but this was a bad batch, if you know what I mean. This was not a prime selection of trailers in terms of my excitement level. So I guess the first one I will highlight is one that I actually think looks really great. The rest, not so great. Is a movie called Eternity. Eternity is I guess you'd call it a drama, sci-fi sort of thing, fantasy, something like that. Highlight on the drama though, with Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen, and then another guy that I'm not sure, or who are kind of in a bit of a love triangle. I guess the premise is that when you die, you get to choose one person who you're gonna spend eternity with. Elizabeth Olsen's character has a newer husband, but then she had a husband from many, many years ago, and they're both kind of waiting there for her. And so she kind of has to pick between them, and it seems like it's going to be a really emotional journey. I think this looks really great. I like the premise. It seems like just silly enough, but obviously like mostly a ton of potential for some really heartbreaking stuff. And obviously her having to make a decision at the end there. I don't think we're going to get some weird twist where the two guys end up choosing each other and she's left on her own. I don't think we're going to get something like that, something weird. But I think this looks really solid. I haven't seen Elizabeth Olsen in anything recently, so I'm excited to check this one out. I think, and it seems like a fun role for Miles Teller as well. So this is probably the top of the heap for me, I would say.
Oh, I don't know if it's top for me, but it looks fun. I think there's a interesting kind of idea that isn't attached to here, where you're dead and you get to choose kind of where you want to go, and you got these, I guess, spirits that are like advertising, like, hey, you want to come try this out? Like, you got to be careful which path you pick. But yeah, I think it's gonna have a very wholesome kind of good kind of vibe to it. I was trying to understand the time dilation component of this, because like he just died, and then Elizabeth Olsen looks like she just died, but then her previous husband was waiting around, but it looked like their photo was like decades ago. So was she reincarnated or something? Like, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe when you die, you get put back in like your quote unquote prime.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so maybe she was like 70 when she died, but they put her back in like her hot like 40-year-old ball. I don't know how old Elizabeth Olsen is, but put her back in like her prime. Maybe that's what it is. Because everyone, was there any old people in there, or were they all like, kind of like?
There's a couple, I think,
Okay,
but
I
not
can't really
not
remember.
elderly.
But maybe those people were in their prime when they were 70. Maybe they
Mhm.
had a really rough life, and that was actually when they were their highest physical health peak. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
you
don't know
make a
the
good
rules,
point.
yeah.
Make a good point. I don't know the rules. Yeah. um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you want me to pick the next one, or where do you want to go?
Yeah. Let's ping pong this bad boy.
Ping pong.
So you go
Okay.
next.
I'm gonna pick It. Welcome to Derry, because
Okay.
holy crikey, I did not realize another trailer came out. I remember the first trailer that they dropped. That one got me pretty jazzed, but this one, oh my gosh, it really did it. I Madison she gets on my case about it, because usually once the fall rolls around and Halloween, she's like, okay, let's watch It Chapter 1, It Chapter 1, and she'll watch It Chapter 2 as well. But we kind of fall off. We'll pass out watching that one because it's not as refined as that first one. That first one is some genuine quality, and I
So good,
love
yeah.
that movie so very much. This trailer and what we got shown here, it gave me It Chapter 1 quality vibes.
Whoa.
I'm really, really liking it. It just
Can you-
seems freaky.
Yeah. I need you to explain that to me, because to me this looked like kind of low budget. Didn't look great. So I'm curious what it is about this that really puts you on that tier. Like, to me, thinking back to even those first It trailers, I was just wowed, and this just doesn't seem anywhere near that to me. So I'm curious what I'm missing.
My fear is that the story, I hope it's not going to be really dragged on. I hope it's going to be pretty like concise to the point, and gets the message across. But the things that really sold me was just certain cinematic moments in this trailer. The jar of pickles, and you see this hand rolling around in there, and other shots too where they're looking out the window and you see just the silhouette of Pennywise standing there. And that's probably, maybe I'm a little biased, but the fact that Skarsgård is coming back as Pennywise,
That's
I
good.
am I'm probably biased for it. But he's just a fantastic villain, and him coming back for that is great. But there's just the eeriness and just the town feeling more toxic and disturbed than it did before in the movies. This time, it just feels like everyone is just sick and just disgruntled. Something is unhealthy and like infecting this planet and this town, not planet. The other thing that I'm really, really looking forward to is getting maybe a little bit more backstory on just like the turtle, and how there's this whole kind of overarching narrative that we don't really understand or know about when it comes to Pennywise, because I think the turtle is this entity, this celestial thing that he's afraid of, and you have other components kind of involved too. And yeah, it's a can of worms, and I don't know a lot about the story, but I want to learn more, and I think this is going to do a good job at kind of showing us more information about Pennywise as the celestial kind of entity.
Right. Because I mean, what is it? 30 years? Is that he comes back every 30 years? Is that the time frame? 20 years? 30? Was it 30?
I think it's 30. I'll confirm.
Yeah. So this is a prequel, I guess, right? Like to the
It is a
movies that we
prequel.
got. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like the 30-year period before. I guess It Chapter 1 is essentially the setting here. So, yeah, there's potential there, but obviously that means we're not getting any other characters other than Skarsgård. But it's funny, when I was watching the trailer, to me it felt like kind of budget, like the visuals didn't look top-notch. Some of the coloration looked kind of weird, which, maybe that stuff will look different when the show's actually out. But getting Skarsgård is one of the things that feels like, oh, yeah, okay, there is budget here, there's care and attention to detail. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess I have to see it to believe it a little bit.
So 27 years. You were pretty
27, right, yeah.
spot on with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not a big horror TV show guy, right? Like, you're not watching the Bly Manors and the Hill Houses and all these kinds of things, right?
No, I'm not. And it's just because I feel like a lot of them just have a really, really slow kind of burn to them.
But this will probably have a pretty slow burn. Like, I
That's
don't even
what
know
I'm-
if you get
that's what I'm
Pennywise
afraid
until,
of.
like, really the end. Like, maybe
It's
you
the
don't even
last
see
episode.
Skarsgård. You just get, like, jars of pickles and stuff, and balloons flying around in the bayou and whatever.
That's all you get. Yeah, just one balloon. I'm afraid that this might just be a bit of a slow burn, but lately I feel like I'm I'm engaging with a good story, and that's kind of filling up my hunger for, not just the scare jumps and the creepy, that kind of creepy stuff. And
Yeah.
I think that there's so many creepy kind of aesthetics and an atmosphere that's emanating from at least the trailer and all these different scenes that's kind of like reeling me in a little bit. But you're right. I don't think we'll probably see Pennywise at least till like the penultimate episode or maybe the finale.
Right.
You'll see his little minions and his little weird little shindigs that he's doing.
Yeah. But I mean, maybe this. I don't know if this is a binge or a weekly drop, but if it is binge drop, then that's not too big of a deal,
Oh, it's HBO, isn't it?
It's 5 episodes, I think, is what I saw.
5 episodes. If it's coming on Crave, then I'm willing to bet that it's going to be weekly. Because I think that's what they do. Because that's what they do with Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, all that. So makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like in the previous, because we had like the TV movie right back in the day, and then the part 1, part 2, which covers like 2 different time periods. But this seems like now we're getting the longest single project, because I'm guessing this all takes place in that one time period. Like, I don't know if we're going to do a time jump to the 27 years later, right? Because that would jump us to like the characters of chapter 1. Now, unless this is like 2 cycles back, I don't know the math on like the time frame of it. But I'm guessing it's all in that one time period, like 27 years before chapter 1, right?
Yes.
So it's funny because I feel like every time we've had like, okay, like I guess it was like the TV movie, which is pretty much like 2 movies kind of spliced together into 2 different time periods. Same thing for the newer movies, but this is going to be like potentially like the most amount of time, screen time, for like the shortest period of time, I guess. So that'll be interesting to see like the kind of little details they decide to fill in there. I wonder how much connectivity will be to the later ones. I mean, it's a long period of time, other than like just direct Pennywise lore. I don't know what you do, but I don't know. We'll see. For me, this is definitely going to be like a wait to see other people watch it and then give me the review of it and then decide if I want to watch it, kind of thing. But it sounds like you're there.
Oh, I'm there. I'm sure we'll be popping off and doing a review. I'm sure Travis will be on board for it. And Kirkland, he loves clowns. Was Kirkland a part of the first 2 chapters?
Yeah, he was the director and writer, I believe.
Oh, of course, yes, because he's a big horror fan.
Yeah, he's picky and choosy with his horror, but I think he likes those movies. I think we were all frothing about for those ones, right?
Yes, yeah. Cool. All right, which trailer you want to pick next?
Okay, let's bring up this one in honor of Superbad Mike. So we didn't originally have this on our list, but he asked us to. So he said, could you guys watch and talk about Spartacus House of Asher trailer? And he also asked, do you have any history with the original Spartacus show? And if not, does this trailer make you curious about it? So, yeah, I feel like I probably talked about this maybe when we did our Gladiator retrospective and review those kinds of movies like 300 and the original Gladiator and I guess Spartacus as well. Like this is not my realm of things. I'm very not knowledgeable, and it's not really I prefer more like fantasy things than like I guess that time period and setting. Now, Gladiator was fun to do. That original movie is really good, and the new one was fine. It was all right. But I don't think I have it in me to watch like an 8-episode run of like a similar kind of story. And I think the biggest reason for me is like, well, one, I don't know. I think with the new Gladiators, obviously that's what I'm comparing it to, because that's like really my only point of comparison. It's like the battles, the scale of them, the visuals, but then also really intriguing characters, even from the trailers. I'm like, I want to know what that guy's story is. I want to know what's going on with that guy. Why is that guy with that weird look? What's going on here? What's going on there? And I feel like I didn't really get that from this trailer, unfortunately. There wasn't anyone that was latched onto me. Now, obviously, I don't know anything about the source material, the original, any of that sort of stuff. So I'm completely in the dark. I do think the premise, I guess like the main character, I assume she's the main character, who's kind of rising up the ranks, and she's obviously kind of the odd one out because she's not a man. I'm sure there's also going to be like a racial component to that as well, because she's a black woman, so that's like 2 layers that she's maybe different than like everyone else kind of around her in that way. And so I think there's potential for a really good story there, but I don't know. Yeah, it's not really my cup of tea necessarily. So glad I checked the trailer, because like obviously I'm more into this now that I've seen Gladiator than I would be otherwise. But yeah, I don't really think this one will be for me. But yeah, do you have any history with the original? Is this one pique your fancy at all?
This does. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it right away, but yeah, this show. I remember my friend telling me about it, and I can't remember if I was still in high school or if I had just graduated or whatnot. I was young, and I was too young to be watching this show because I remember uh, I got my friend let me copies of it, and I watched it with my dad, which it's not something I would recommend if watching with your mom or your dad because the amount of
Super violent,
sex.
a lot of sex. Okay, okay.
Oh my god, the violence is definitely brutal, but it's there's worse, gorier things out there. It's the sex mostly. Just there's like tons of like, it's just it's so much sex, so much sex. But little Taylor was having a great time with it.
Yeah. Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
there's just an awesome story though that's involved here. Where just the gladiators, like this one, to sum it up in short terms here, these guys were recruited by the Romans to help fight, and then they were betrayed, and the Romans took them prisoner and threw them into the arena, sold them off as gladiators. And so you have the main gladiator who becomes Spartacus, and he basically gets his freedom, or doesn't get it. He takes his freedom by staging a rebellion and whatnot. And I have not finished the show. I've watched season 1 and 2. I've not seen season 3. There was another spin-off of Spartacus, because that was Spartacus Blood and Sand, I think, was the first one. And there's another spin-off. And then this House of Asher. So I believe Asher he was in the first show, and he was like an injured gladiator who kind of just like became like a man of whispers, if you can imagine what that kind of a character would be like.
Like
And
worm tongue energy.
kind of like that, yeah. Kind of like a snake or whatever, making bets and whatnot, but playing all the sides. So him being in this position, I'm not sure. I don't know how he's come to this point in time to be running his own house, running his own gladiators, but it seems like he's an underdog. People are treating him like shit. But like I said, I am interested in this, and I'm gonna definitely give it a watch at some point, but probably not right away.
Cool. Okay. And Spartacus is the name of a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was seeing the YouTube comments. People were like, bold of them to call this thing Spartacus House of Asher when when Spartacus isn't in it. Is that what's going on here? Is he like not in the show?
If
Like,
I
is the
remember
time era not
correctly, I
connected to
think
that, or is he dead or something? I don't know.
if I remember correctly, I thought, and I could be completely wrong, so don't quote me on this. I thought that the character dies in the last season, but I could be
Okay.
wrong. I don't know when this story takes place, though.
Right. So maybe they're just trying to siphon off some of that name value. Interesting.
Mhm.
That always goes great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ping pong. Back to you.
Yes. Okay. What should I pick here? You know what? I'm just gonna pick Five
Rip the
Nights
Band-Aid off.
at
Oh.
Freddy's. No. Soon. Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, I remember when we watched that first one. It was okay. I don't really know much about this world aside from having played a little bit of the games. Ruben put the VR headset on me, and I had to play fully immersed, and that was terrifying. But this one looks like it's a very much an improvement over the first one. I like that we're kind of going into the open world, but it just feels more like high quality, and it feels like it's kind of tackling and going after an original. It feels more in tune with the game to some slight degree, instead of, if that, I don't know if that's going to make sense. The first one was very much reliant on playing the card of like, hey, you know, this moment it's in the game, whereas this one, it just feels like the aesthetic is there instead of the scene being blatantly copied from the game. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, a little more creative freedom, perhaps, from the source material. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I still haven't seen the first one. I got that same vibe as you, though. That maybe seems like a bit more wider scope. You know, we're not just in that one. What is it? Is it an arcade? Is it like an old Scandia vibe? What's going on?
Yeah, old Scandia, I'd say, is it.
Old Scandia, old amusement park sort of energy. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's potentially interesting. But yeah, I imagine the games don't go there necessarily. They're probably just staying in these weird amusement park things. So not much for me to say. This, you know, I think the first one looked like a fairly generic horror movie. This seems like the same sort of thing. So, but the first one made big money, so I'm not surprised that this is coming around. We'll probably get a third one too.
The third one would be quite something. You got Josh Hutcherson in there, and he's always just a delight.
And the girl
whenever he's in.
from You season 1, right?
Oh, that's right. That didn't
Isn't
even
that the
click with me.
The first Joe Goldberg victim.
I think it is. Yeah. I didn't even make that connection. I was just looking at Josh.
You got to look at Josh. Yeah, but I don't think I've
look at
seen her in
Josh.
anything else. So that's potentially. Was she not in the first one?
Have not. No, not
No?
that I remember. Josh just had. There was a girl
His
in
crew died
there.
in the first one, probably.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
Yeah. Bloodbath. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking about bloodbaths, how about we talk about good fortune here? So, God damn, this has to be like the most like sterile comedy script I've ever seen in my life. Like this was an absolute fucking zero. And I feel bad because Aziz Ansari, so he's like the writer director on this, so it's like, you know, he's starring in it. It's like his movie's writing. I don't know if he's done other things like this. I like him as a guy. He's funny. He definitely has a shtick. This actually does seem like it's not him just doing his same like squirrely, high pitched like little shtick that he's doing. So it's maybe something different. But man, like it is hard to make Seth Rogen not funny, and he's just a nothing in this trailer. And like I like the idea of the casting here for Keanu, like making him like a what is it, a fairy godmother angel type vibe, angel on your shoulder coming down to give some life advice and whatnot. But like, goddamn, just the writing in this is absolute trash. And I feel like if these are your best zingers you got for your trailer, then I'm not hopeful for the rest of this movie. So I don't know. I would rather watch Avatar: Fire and Ash than Good Fortune, I think. I don't know if that's true, actually, just because of how long Avatar is, but that's brutal.
My goodness.
Do you have a better fortune for this one than I did?
Yeah, I did enjoy the trailer a bit. I will agree Seth Rogen is feeling pretty dry in here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's definitely the Keanu Reeves stuff that makes me laugh the most.
What made you laugh? Give me a funny moment that you liked. Putting you on the spot here, but I need to know.
So, for example, one of the things I liked was like the other angel was giving him grief about why'd you do this? Why'd you switch their lives around? And he's like, well, I thought by showing him that money isn't everything, then he'd find the answer. But he kind of, money did solve all his problems. I'm paraphrasing, but that line, it made me laugh. And when he's in the bed with Seth Rogen, like the wings do matter when you're trying to fly. I got small wings.
You like that joke?
I like that. I think it's just the way Keanu sells it. He's just a straight face.
You think
he's
okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take my name. I just feel like I don't know if he's trying to sell it. I don't know.
It's how bland
the Discord
he is.
people. Am I alone on this island, or do other people?
You're not
this
alone.
has
You're
potential.
not alone.
I don't know. I think this look like a dud on wheels.
He's so bland about the things that he's saying that it just that's making me laugh because it feels like an innocent form of humor, whereas other characters, they're trying, and I don't like when people are trying hard to just be funny. Keanu's one of those people that he just does things, and if he's doing it in John Wick, that's one thing, but if he's just acting like very monotone in a comedic atmosphere,
Right.
It makes me laugh, which is, it's weird to put it that way.
I see. Okay. Yeah. I get that. I feel like most comedies have that kind of character, right? Like the straight man, as it's called, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually. But
But it feels like
I'm
everyone in
excited.
this is the straight man. There's just no funny people. They're all just
There you
so it's
go.
just straight men. So good.
Yeah, I think the idea is fun, but it could have used overall a little bit more refinement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that all the other ones aside from the big hunka?
There's one more. One battle after another
Okay, which one
with
was
Leo
this again?
DiCaprio.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah. What'd you think of that one?
It caught me off guard because I remember seeing the other trailer. 'Cause, yeah, this is with Benicio del Toro, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I remember seeing the other trailer that felt a little bit more comedic, and then watching this one, it just seemed like it gives you a lot more context of the story, and it just is a lot more serious than that previous trailer, I feel. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not rushing to see this one right away, but I'll probably watch it, 11:30 at night. It's a Saturday night, everyone's to bed, and I'm just looking for something to watch, and I'll
Hmm.
probably put it on.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I feel like anytime I see DiCaprio in anything these days, I feel like it's extremely. It feels like he's extremely selective, right? Like he's either like trying to get some Oscars or he's just doing like highbrow things. Like he's not really like. I feel like maybe the weirdest thing he did was like Don't Look Up, but like that's still a really great movie that has like a good message and all that. It's just like more comedic focus, which is like not really what he's normally doing. But like other than that, it's like he's going for like the biggest directors in town that are just pooping out Oscars every day of their life, and so this feels like one of those to me to some extent. And so this director, the last movie was Licorice Pizza, which I did not like. I thought it was extremely overrated. So I'm not super hyped on this. I don't know. I guess there wasn't like a great hook in here. It seems like there's a lot going on. It seems like almost a TV series in terms of the amount of different storylines and things going on in here. But I think this one definitely has a lot of potential because of the cast, because of the talent behind it and all that. So, but as is kind of obvious here off my impression of the trailer, I'm gonna wait and see kind of what the impression is from the Discord and the realms around to see if this is like, I don't know if this is supposed to be like a big Oscar movie contender. We'll see. It seems like a bit early in the year for that maybe, but I could see it being one of those potentially.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you all been waiting for. Dylan, tell me how excited
Mm.
you are for Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Avatar. Is this the first trailer? Second trailer? What's going on here?
This is the first trailer.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's because people make a big deal about this for being before F4. Yeah, I mean, you can go back to the Way of Water review if you want to. I was the first one to talk in our opening sequence and that, and I kind of ripped it open there. I was not a fan of that movie, and I pretty much said like, yeah, I'm out. I'm out on Avatar. You're not gonna get me back in the theater for this next one. A review will happen, I'm sure, with other people, but I'm not gonna be part of it. And after watching this trailer, I couldn't be less interested in Avatar. This did nothing for me. It's funny. It's like I see this, and obviously there's a lot of good visuals and stuff, but like I don't know. I just the characters don't work for me. Like the tone feels very cheesy, but like not intentionally so. And like I just feel like the editing was actually weird in this trailer. It almost feels like I feel like James Cameron is so big, and with this movie, the only marketing you need to do is like for people to know that it exists, and then it has a release date. You don't actually need like a good trailer, and I don't think this was a good trailer, but I'm also kind of a hater, I guess, so that's totally fair criticism. But yeah, I just feel like the editing was really weird. You just have like weird lines of dialogue across like this really intense emotional music that just like wasn't working. I don't know. It seems like more of just the second one. Like I don't know what the evolution is here. I didn't get much of the what the fire means, in terms of the symbolism of it. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm gonna leave this review up to the professionals, aka you and Kirkland and Travis, if he wants to join this time around. But I'm still out on Avatar, and I don't think there's a single thing you could do to get me in on it. Honestly, I don't know how this trailer could have been the best trailer I've ever seen in my life, and I still don't think I would be down to go see Avatar 3.
Well, there you have it, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen. My goodness.
sorry to say.
I love Avatar. That first one, I've watched it again, again, and again. It's for 2009. Just the quality of that movie, it just visually is a spectacle. The second one, I like it. I like it a fair bit. There's definitely some weak points to it, but I'm always willing to take a tour on Pandora. It's a dang good time, and I'm a sucker for the emotional story points that these Avatar movies are putting out, just with nature and connecting with the animals and all that kind of stuff, and just your own humanity and everything like that, and betraying your race. But I am I was doubtful that we were going to be getting this movie. It just felt surreal that we're going to be getting this third one now after just I mean, it was so long before we got the next one, like over 10 years. So it just didn't feel like we were actually going to
Mm-hmm.
get another one right away. But no, here we are. We're getting it. The trailer, it doesn't tell you much. It really only covers the basics that, okay, they're they're moving from one place to another, and the next place they're moving to has other Navi that exist there, and these Navi are not friendly, and they are fire, ash, all that kind of stuff, and it's a totally different playing field that we're dealing with. So it'll be interesting to see how this
Still
goes.
a lot of water in this one, though.
There is a lot of water
I mean,
still.
James Cameron,
yeah.
he likes the water.
He loves the water.
Yeah.
So you've got the you have like a parallel here where you have Jake Sully, who has kind of taken over the role of becoming the leader for all these Navi that live in the trees, and then you've got Quaritch, who is basically becoming I'm assuming a leader or a very prominent representative for the Fire and Ash clan, and you're going to have these two square off against each other. Ultimately, I'm just wondering, are we going to see the Fire and Ash tribe team up with Jake Sully's tribe and have just a unified Navi planetary force
Against
just
who?
defend
Against
the
humans?
humans? Because we know that the humans are coming to Pandora to terraform it so that they can basically all live there because Earth is dying. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see kind of what the next step is in that narrative, because with the Way of Water, it just felt like, okay, well, Jake Sully and his family are on the run. That's really it. We got a couple battles, and they're hunting him down and whatnot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to set up, because we've got another few Avatar movies in the works. They're not slowing down. They're going
true.
full
Speeding up.
steam ahead. So I am looking forward to it. I sent the trailer to my sister. I remember my sister likes Avatar a lot, and I remember me and Madison babysat her kids so that she could go with her husband to see Avatar. They did face paint and everything when they went and saw it. They were so jazzed for it. But I will say, during Fantastic Four, when the trailer played, some people in the theater laughed. Not like after the trailer. I think it wasn't like a belly laugh, but it was just like oh ha ha, another Avatar. Okay, ha ha ha.
Oh, okay. Like they're too good for it.
I guess, yeah. Something
Interesting.
like that.
Huh.
Or yeah, something along those lines. But
I
there
definitely
you
laughed at the one
go.
point when Sigourney Weaver's character's like, "Oh no, a spider!" But it's like in like this really dramatic moment.
spider.
And it was like really took me out of the emotion there.
Spider, I don't need. You could always you could pull a spider out of there.
Let's get rid of him.
Yeah, get him out.
Bury him at sea.
Cool. Well, I think that does it for the trailers. But we have a question that we need to
do.
answer.
It's true.
Yeah. So, Maddie has graciously brought back the rank your trailers in terms of your excitement for the project question.
I missed this. I feel like the last couple WGs I've been on, I haven't been asked to rank them, and I can't rank them if I'm not asked to do so. All right, number 1 for me, Eternity. Number 2, One Battle After Another. Number 3, It, Welcome to Derry. Number 4, Spartacus. Number 5, Five Nights at Freddy's. And here is where I'm not just filled with hatred. Number 6 for me is Avatar. Number 7 is Good Fortune. Good Fortune is below Avatar on the trailer ranking for me. So that's how you know I'm not completely biased against Avatar. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm not going to see it. I'm just saying. I gave the trailer a chance. So Good Fortune. I'm sorry, Aziz, but your movie is bottom of the heap.
There we go.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do number 1 is It's Welcome to Derry. That trailer got me. It got me
dirty
really,
dog.
really excited.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm dirty. Got me really jazzed. Number 2 is Avatar: Fire and Ash. Can't wait for that. After that, I'm gonna say. I'll say Five Nights at Freddy's, followed by Good Fortune, followed by Eternity, and then One Battle After Another.
Wow. Okay. So we almost had a bit of flipperoo.
Almost
not
a mirrored.
a 1-to-1, but there was definitely some mirroring occurring. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I like that.
You do. Okay.
Cool. So we're going to take our next ad break, and we'll be getting into the last little bit of our show. We'll be right back. And we are back. Okay, so our first TV film show rumor to discuss here is Aaron Taylor Johnson and Willem Dafoe, both supposedly popping back into the David Eggers projects here with Werewolf.
Is it David Eggers?
I completely did not feel confident in saying that.
I thought it was Robert.
Thank you, David Robert.
David Ayers is a guy, I think, right?
David Ayers. Yeah, I didn't feel confident saying that. My mind went blank. I just thought, David. Thank you for calling me out on
He's
that.
back. He's making Werewolf. He made Nosferatu, so he's bringing his two boys back. So Aaron Taylor Johnson is the lead. This is interesting because he was kind of, I guess, in a supporting role in Nosferatu. He was actually the one character I was not totally vibing with in that. I just felt like his tone to me wasn't fitting. Like the tone of his character wasn't really fitting the movie overall for me. I'm actually excited to see him in another leading role here because I feel like this is an actor who's got a lot of potential, but he just needs to be placed just right. And so I'm hopeful that, obviously they've worked together before, him and the director. So hopefully this is him being placed just right. But unfortunately, I feel like Aaron Taylor Johnson does have a bit of quite a level of variance for me. I either love him or hate him. He's one of those for me. And so I'm hoping I'm on the love side because obviously Nosferatu was great. Werewolf seems like a good, obviously, material for this director, of course. And Dafoe, I mean, this guy gets a home run every time he's up to bat. So, I mean, he's going to nail it. He's going to be some weird freak. He's going to be fantastic. He could be the werewolf. I don't know. He could do it all, and I'll be there for it. Willem Dafoe, he doesn't miss. So I'm excited for this. I will say when I first read this, because we've been memeing about Willem Dafoe and Anya Taylor-Joy, and when I saw Aaron Taylor Johnson, the denominator there being the Taylor, I thought this was like going to be them leading the thing together. I was like, whoa, the rumors keep a swirling that these two are like married or dating or something, which is a weird mix to be sure. But Anya Taylor-Joy was in what's it called, The Witch, so she's been in the Eggers realm as well. So
She was also in The Northman.
oh yeah, she's been around the block when it comes to the Eggers stuff, but she's
Yeah.
been on the bench for a little bit, unfortunately.
She has been, yeah.
She gave her spot to Dafoe, her
That's right.
husband to be.
It's kind of funny how Aaron Taylor Johnson and Anya Taylor-Joy share the same initials.
Whoa, yeah. I never
Crazy.
pieced together the ATJ because I've never called her ATJ. We call him ATJ.
Yeah, we can call her ATJ now too.
I guess she has less. Does she have less syllables in her name? Her name just flows, but Aaron Taylor Johnson feels like a freaking mouthful sometimes to say.
Anya Taylor-Joy, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
So she has one less syllable. So it's not a big difference.
Yeah, not
4 to
really,
5
but it does
syllables.
flow. It does flow better.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I am so excited for this movie. I mean, Nosferatu was just the bee's knees. What a fantastic time! And so for this now, with doing like the werewolf side of things, absolutely, this is great for a franchise. I guess a theme. Vampires. Just you'd think that they would have exhausted it by now, but they keep just hitting home runs. I love The Last Voyage of the Demeter. What was the other vampire project that came out?
Sinners?
Sinners, thank you. Oh my god. 10 out of 10. Fantastic
We're in the
movie.
peak vampire era, aren't we? We're doing pretty good right now.
We are. And we got to keep that rolling with these creatures. So
And that
him
new
tackling
werewolf movie was pretty good too, right? Wasn't it the one that came out earlier this year? Or Wolfman? Same sort of
yes,
scenario?
the Wolfman, that movie was fantastic. I saw it in theaters. That was freaking awesome. Oh, I love that movie. That was really, really good. The one that came out with God, what is his name? He played.
We also had Night Bitch. That's a kind of a werewolf movie, right?
Yeah, I didn't really like that one that much. There was another one that came out, and it was like a Dog Soldiers meets underworld kind of vibe. It has the guy who played Crossbones. He's played Rick Flag Sr. I can't remember the name of him.
Oh, hell, I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, he's not. The movie was not great.
Okay.
But anyways. Yeah,
But that movie
I
didn't
can't wait
have
for
Willem Dafoe in it, so
It did
that
not.
was- yeah,
Would have done better if it had Willem Dafoe in there for sure.
of course.
But let me ask you this, Dylan. What do you
Okay.
know about Dredd?
Dredd. Well, this is Judge Dredd, right? It's the same realm.
Correct.
So we did that. What was it? Was that the 2012 Golden Geeks that we covered that one, right? Or did we do a retro for that?
Oh no, that was a Golden Geeks. That's right.
Yeah, so we didn't do a retro on it, but it came up in conversation because it was one of the movies that was on our to do list.
Mhm.
And so that was the first time I had seen that, of course, and I liked it. It was a solid movie, a good concept. Seems like there's a lot of potential there. Now it's funny, just because obviously that movie came out a while ago, but I just watched it last year, so to me it feels too fresh, and I'm like not fiending for more of this Judge Dredd world. And with Taika, man, this guy he's all over the place. He's all over the map in terms of quality, but especially with that soccer movie he did, which was just dog shit. That was not good at all. But even though that was like a original concept, I think for him, like I kind of still want him to do more original stuff, just because he has so many weird, crazy ideas, and I want to see more of that stuff. And obviously, him doing an IP thing, I do think this is a pretty good one to do. It's like not too overplayed. It seems like it's got a good mix of like he can do his action stuff, he can do his character stuff, he can do some comedy in there. So it seems like a decent mix. I guess it's just not like the thing I'd be most excited to see. Well, really from anyone, but even specifically from him and the Taika isms that I like. I just don't. I guess I wouldn't see this as like I wouldn't put this in a draft of like, oh, I got to see Taika make this kind of movie. But I'm open to it. I will probably watch it like, not in theaters, but like in the year it comes out, I'll definitely watch this movie, and hopefully it's good because I want Taika to kind of be on top again. It feels like it's been a bit since his finest work. So hopefully he can get back to that point.
Yeah, I haven't seen really anything recent of Taika's, but I do know like some of his things can be kind of hit or miss and zany. I would prefer to get another Judge Dredd movie with Carl Urban. I think that would be my kind of level of hype because I really like that Dredd movie with him and just the vibe of just being like the raid where they're trapped in this tower and it's just chaos and fighting and everything. I think it's really, really cool. But I'm gonna give him a chance, see what's going on. I think it's a franchise that we should definitely get tapped into a little bit because I think the original was Sylvester Stallone that played Dredd, if I'm not mistaken. Which I've not seen that original. I'll have to
me neither.
make a point to eventually. But yeah, we'll see what comes of this. Next on the list is National Treasure 3. Reportedly, a script is being written.
Right. This one I gotta just volley right back at you because I've not seen these, and I know you're a big fan. So
You've
tell me.
You've not seen any National
I'm sorry,
Treasures?
Taylor. I'm sorry, I have not.
My God.
Treasureless over here.
Oh man. Well, I got a Declaration of Independence that I'll whip out and show you someday.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, I think the movies are fantastic. Me and Kirkland we'll put them on every once in a while, just watch them, and they satisfy that itch. Nicolas Cage is amazing in them. I watched the TV show they did on Disney Plus. It was okay. It had some isms, but it did not really capture the magic for me. If I'm craving National Treasure, I'm gonna go back and watch that first one. Second one's not bad, but that first one is just pure magic. There's a couple scenes in there, one particular where you can just feel the Nick Cage, the zaniness kind of seep out. This is before he started to get into that crazy era.
Ooh, okay. This was the origin story of the crazy Nick Cage.
The origin story, yeah. It's a dang good movie. I really, really like it. Benjamin Gates, the character, it's just fantastic. Quality. So there's a big thing in the second movie that they highlight, and you never get an answer to it. They highlight that answer, they highlight that question again and reiterate it in the TV show that they did, but they don't ever give us the answer. And that answer is what is on page 47 in the President's book. I got to know what's on this page, and we'll just...
So do you think they're going to write... That's going to be written in this script? What was written on that page?
I freaking hope so. I mean, it's the ultimate cliffhanger.
It's like the Pulp Fiction. What's in the briefcase? Like that's the equivalent for the.
It's up there. It's one of those things, and I mean, I don't want to die without knowing what's on page 47. I would have an incomplete death. I'd probably haunt the earth as a spirit and just waiting to figure out what was on page 47.
Oh God, get this guy the script, everyone.
Yes, so I'm very much excited for that. I hope that they run through with it because the rumors a few years ago was that they were doing the show and they were doing a third National Treasure, but then it seemed like it got scrapped. But now we've come full circle again, and we're back to National Treasure 3 possibly. So let's see it. Let's see it happen.
Nice.
But yeah, you lead us on the next one because this is pretty exciting.
Yeah, Donkey Kong animated movie is, I guess, officially happening at this point, which we kind of already knew, and I think me and Kirkland talked about it on Weekly Geek like 2 weeks ago. I forget what the context was of us talking about that. I think it was that Nintendo had confirmed that they're making like 2 other movies, and we were talking about which movies are those, and then we're like, oh well, Donkey Kong is obviously one of them. So, it's kind of like not necessarily a new surprising thing by any means, but still very exciting. Obviously, Donkey Kong Bonanza just came out, and it's kind of like a big return to form for Donkey Kong. It's finally him kind of getting the bananas he deserves, kind of. So I think this is really great. I think it's I really like the Mario movie. I got to rewatch it, man. I still have not given it a second rewatch, actually. Still only seen it the one time in theaters. But I think, the humor, the casting of it all, like it works perfectly for me. Bonanza just gives them a whole bunch of new material that they potentially work with. I don't know what they would do for the story, and obviously they kind of already set that character up in the Mario world. But there's just so many fun Kongs, so many freakish Kongs out there to bring in the mix. And, a lot of potential for Easter eggs, a lot of potential for crossover stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I'm still pretty wary about the Zelda live action just because, like, I don't know, we have to wait and see how a Nintendo live action thing looks. But yeah, I think this is good. Did you know that there was a Donkey Kong animated show back in the day?
Yes, I believe I watched some of it at my cousin's house.
Oh wow,
I think he
that's
had
crazy.
a hard copy of it.
Right. So not Donkey Kong's first time being in an animated. Well, I guess this is his first time animated movie, but he's been in the animated realm before. I don't think that shows. I think it's notoriously horrendous, but yeah. Hopefully, this game specifically Bonanza and like all the other stuff over the years offers a lot of good potential there. But I'm super down for this. I will be there day one because I'm a Nintendo boy and I love my boy Donkey Kong.
Yeah, this has me pretty jazzed, pretty excited. I think it's let's build up this universe. Let's keep it going. Let's have some more fun because the more you do in these movies, then that means there's more stuff that they can bring over into the games that we really like, more DLC and different little crossovers and whatnot. So I think this is a fantastic idea. And again, I'm not someone that's running off to Donkey Kong. Like I didn't pick up Bonanza because I'm not like a day one Donkey Kong kind of guy, but I know that he's a very much beloved character, and I'm just excited to see where this is going to segue. So,
yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
Cool. Now you're a big Pirates of the Caribbean fan.
Am I? Are you declaring that, or are you asking that?
I'm declaring my question to you.
Okay, what a way to phrase that. So where am I with Pirates of the Caribbean? This is a series that I grew up with, but really only like the first 2, maybe the third one I watched a little bit, but mostly it was the first couple ones. And really liked them back in the day, and then kind of just didn't really return them. I don't know if I've seen 4. I definitely did the review for 5, so obviously I think I was mixed. I just never seen 4, and I went right into 5 and all that. And, I think 5 was pretty negative. I thought it was okay, but not great from what I'm remembering. But, man, it is extremely fuzzy. And then actually, like, just recently, like in the last few months, I put on the OG Pirates because I was feeling it after, we always do the meme, are you curious, and I wanted to put the movie on. And I'm going to say I was, like, really disappointed in it. I was like, this is really slow and, like, extremely boring and not that funny or good in any way. I was actually, like, really disappointed with it. So, I don't know, maybe I need to give it another shot. I feel like I was giving it my attention. Maybe it was sleepy or something. I feel like if we do get 6, that's finally time to do the retro. That would make sense, right?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
We have not done that, right? I'm not forgetting the whole retro.
Haven't done it.
Yeah, so that would be good because I feel like I really need to brush up on my history a bit. But yeah, I don't know. When I rewatched that one, it did not work for me. And the funniest part about that, Taylor, for me is like that "I'm curious" line is like it's in the middle of a sentence and it's like it's not highlighted at all. So I don't know how that became a meme. It's not like he doesn't say "I'm curious." Like it's not like a big line. I don't know how this became a thing in our lexicon. I feel like when I saw that scene in the movie, it just like it slipped right by. I was kind of surprised.
He says it very fast with the like, because he says it at the start of a sentence. Yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those things. 24-hour stream late at night. We start just beaking off lines from movies.
Getting goofy, yeah. Kirkland, all hopped up on sugar and all that. Yeah, crazy things happen. So anyway, all that to say, Pirates 6 rumored original cast. Can you remind me who's dead? Like I thought some people must have died, right?
The only
Is
one
Jack
who's dead
Sparrow
right
alive?
now is Barbossa. Everyone else is alive.
Okay, so they're all there, but like I don't know, do they? Money talks for sure, and I feel like especially right now, everything that's happening with Johnny Depp, maybe this would be a good way to get like some positive, get him back in the positive light potentially. Like I could see his agent pitching that case to him in terms of him wanting to do this movie. I don't know if I'm sure they've all done interviews whether they would do more movies. I just don't keep up to date with that sort of stuff. I mean, I'm not super duper excited for this, but I'm more happy that they're doing this potentially instead of like a reboot. I think that's kind of the way to go. Just keep it going, build off of it. Maybe it's kind of messy and too long at this point, but I don't know. If we ever get like a reboot for Pirates, like I'm out. I don't care. Not going to be for me. Kind of like another thing that we might talk about in a few minutes here, but I don't know. I am obviously my fandom for this kind of waned over the years. So you tell me, as someone who's more in the weeds and watches these movies more regularly than me, I don't know. Are you excited for this? Do you want this? Hopeful?
I really want a Pirates 6. I really, really do. I think after the way the last Pirates movie ended, the cliffhanger really had me just kind of sold on the idea, and I thought we're never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Johnny Depp coming back, I'm all for it, but I want him to be more like his older version of Jack
Right.
Sparrow, not his Dead Man Tell No Tales version, because that one was not the greatest.
Yeah, you guys talked about in 5 how he was almost became like a parody of what the character was.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. So I'm hoping that they do justice with that character, and yeah, get Will Turner back, get Elizabeth Swann back. I'm totally game for all of that. Even though Barbossa's died in the previous one, I mean, he's already died once. He's like, if you die in here, even Jack Sparrow died. You die, you can come back. There's ways to bring you back. So
Right.
it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. I just know that I would really like a Pirate 6. And I remember back before the rumors swirling around was like, okay, we're gonna do a 6 Pirates movie and then another one. I think Margot Robbie was kind of
I do remember that now that you mention it. Yeah, that was a thing.
yeah. That was kind of like in talks for to happen. And I think it's supposed to be in the same universe, but yeah, I'm glad that we're basically getting just 6 and we're going to be able to focus on that. I think that's the way to go. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's all I got on that. Now you hinted at this.
I did.
Harry Potter. Now I know you love Harry Potter.
Yeah, I like Harry Potter. Yep.
Are you a fan of them doing the TV show? I don't know if I've ever directly asked you this.
Thank you for asking. Am I a fan of them doing it? You phrase that in an interesting way. I am not interested in this show. I'm not going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it makes sense for them to do it. So am I a fan of them doing it? Sure, that's fine. But yeah, I don't think I need this in my life. Yeah.
My wife would agree with you. Madison is definitely not big on the Harry Potter remake kind of a thing. It's not her jam. She thinks that the movies are fine. Let's keep it as is. We don't need to do this. I'm open to it because, like Travis says, when you do a TV show, you can expand and explore a lot more things that you can in just a 2-hour setting. This also being HBO, Crave gets me really, really jazzed because they do the time. They put a lot of money into what their projects are, and I think we're going to get some really cool visuals and some really cool things. Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, they're really, really good, but you don't get a lot of the special effects in there, like the spells and whatnot, so I think that they're going to go hot and heavy.
Is that true?
Here. I feel like you get a lot of the scenes, them talking the talk, and then when they do the spells and stuff, you get a couple action scenes and whatnot, but it's them like holding. When I think of the magical spells in that movie, it's like, okay, the Cornish pixies are flying, and Hermione puts her wand up and says they have a spell, and they all freeze, and that's her using magic. But I am someone that gravitates heavily to the later ones where they're battling or dueling, and you see like the beams shooting out of their wands, and like they're like the spells and them actually like flicking their wands, and like you see those little effects, the special effects of things moving as like a spell hits something or whatnot. Like even in like Deathly Hallows Part 2, when one of like Malfoy's friends is like shaking his wand, and like this fire snake is like pouring out of the tip of his wand, and he can't control it. Even when we're like Order of the Phoenix, when Dumbledore is facing off against Voldemort, and Dumbledore is controlling that water orb with Voldemort in there, and like Voldemort like shoots down the glass at him. Like there's those kind of effects I like, and you don't get that same level in those earlier films. And I think it's just because of the time and the technology. That being said, it does not take away from the magic and the excitement I have for those original films. This though, I feel like we're gonna get that kind of like special effects on the spells and everything. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I like that they're going to be doing, as the details here is that seasons 1 and 2 are going to consist each of 6 episodes, and they're going to be filmed back to back. I think that's a really, really good idea, because you don't want, time is your enemy here. You're working with kids, and we've all seen how it works with Stranger Things. Those kids, they age fast. So 2 seasons back to back, that gives you a lot of time. If this starts in 2027, then that means we have 2028. I'm assuming season 2 drops, and that means they've set themselves up for so many years down the road that they can just do the next 2 seasons back to back and kind of keep that train going. And I think you'll have a pretty good like grace period between the seasons for your kid actors and whatnot. So I think that's on the right track.
Yeah, and 6 episodes seems like a good number to me, because obviously the movies, cover the story adequately. Obviously there's things they have to cut from the books, but I don't think those books are so beefy that they require too many episodes per season. I think 6 seems like a decent amount, and I think that could add to the ability for this to be like a nice rewatchable show for people, in the same way that people are nostalgic for Harry Potter currently, and they want to do a rewatch of all the movies, right? And that's like, it doesn't take you too long to do that, and they should probably help with the show as well if it's 6 episodes throughout the whole thing. And maybe they change it, like obviously they took Deathly Hallows and split that into 2 movies, so I don't know if they would take that. Well, I don't even know. Is season 1 just the Philosopher's Stone? That's what I guess that's my assumption. I'm assuming that they're doing a season per book, but I could be wrong about that.
That's what I understand, yeah.
But yeah, so who knows if they do that as well for Deathly Hallows. I mean, a lot of people critique that part 1 because it's like a little bit boring, because it doesn't have like some of the, final act 3-ness of it in there. But yeah, obviously I think there's a lot of potential, and some books obviously are going to benefit from this I don't know, more length than other ones will. I don't know. I think that because my order was that I watched the movies a lot as a kid. When I was a little bit older, like early adulthood, is when I read some of the books, and there's stuff, of course, that didn't occur in the movies, but like, I don't know if you really need it. I think the movies are just fine just the way they are for the most part. So yeah, but obviously the series will allow to really flesh out some of those things, but I'm curious to see if they add other things in there, other things that didn't exist before, change some things, hopefully add a little bit more, I don't know, quality content for some of like certain characters that were kind of underserved in those movies, or also potentially in the books, and obviously some characters maybe don't even make it into the movie. So a lot of potential here for sure. And yeah, I think this is a good way to do it. Film 2 seasons back to back, and you're good to go. Might help with the age element, as you mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we've gotten a lot of casting announcements and whatnot, but the one that's kind of been close to the chest that people have been talking about is Voldemort, and apparently Voldemort's already been cast. Now I'm pretty sure I didn't miss it, right? Like we don't actually see like who was casted as Voldemort. I'm sure. I
believe that's a speculation phase is where we're at with that one.
Okay. So far I've been really, really happy with the castings. Nick Frost as Hagrid. They dropped that photo. I thought, man, this is a Hagrid for sure. I'm loving this. So,
yeah, I was looking at an article of all the people that were cast just to remind myself, and yeah, there was that picture of him as Hagrid, but then other people like don't have a picture of them as the characters. So, like, did they just do that for him and like some people, or is that like an AI image that I saw of someone who just like make Nick Frost look like Hagrid or something?
Well, no, there was a photo of him that he is in the Hagrid stuff.
Okay. So they didn't do it for everyone, just some people, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Like obviously, the Harry Potter kid, it looks like that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't. Yeah, the one I saw apparently like Cillian Murphy is a rumor, but I don't know if that's just fan cast stuff or if that's actually like a rumor, or it's just like a fan cast that people are trying to will into existence. I mean, that one would be good, right? I think he's British. He's got a Voldemort-like face. He could be a Tom Riddle vibe as well. Like, he's got the two sides of it. Would you want that one? Obviously, he's kind of top of his game right now.
I would definitely be all for that. That would be pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I haven't seen him in anything else recently. I thought he was going to be in 28 Years Later, but he is not. He's in the sequel.
He's in Bone Temple, of course.
Bone Temple, yeah. So, I mean, after that's concluded, I mean, what else can he be up to? I guess
He's in Bone Temple, and 28 Years Later had Ray Fiennes in it, the original Voldemort. So it could be
That's
the
right.
meeting of the Voldemorts.
the meaning of the Voldemorts, yeah, passing on the lineage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I got nothing else on that though.
Well, there was another question from the great Matty Sags, of course, who said, "Who would you guys cast as Voldemort in the HP series?"
El Double. Oh man.
El Double.
El Double.
Did you not see that one, or did you not do that?
No, I definitely saw it,
preparations?
but I did not register. So you go first, and I'll
Okay.
think.
I'll throw. I have 3 that I can chuck at you here. What about? And I picked only British actors because I think that's what most of the casting is, and they're sticking to that. What do you think about Benedict Cumberbatch?
Oh,
He's got the face. He's got a bit of a Voldemortian face, right? Which is
yes, he
maybe
does.
maybe it doesn't sound like a compliment, but I mean it as a compliment.
I think it would be good, but I think I'd have a hard time just seeing Doctor Strange, to be honest.
Interesting, especially if he has a wand and he's shooting magic out, and that feels a bit too
Yeah.
close to
Yeah.
Strange. Okay, well, here's another Marvel one. Let's see if you can differentiate. What about Paul Bettany of Vision fame?
That's a good one. I would take Paul Bettany.
Also has a Voldemirian face.
Mm-hmm.
He played a villain in a Star Wars movie, right? Dratch.
Solo.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was his name?
That's
Vasco?
right.
It was Dratch, what? Or Drat? Not Rachel Dratch, but another Dratch. Dratch.
Yeah, it's, I
Was it
can't
something
think
like
with this
that? I don't
Dratch.
know.
No, Voss.
Verso. Voss. No, Verso's from Expedition 33.
Dryden Voss. That's what.
Dryden Voss.
Fucking
not
Drax.
Dryden Voss, yeah. What about, so him doing magic wouldn't bother you, even though Vision shoots beams out of his heads in the
Wouldn't bother
one
me.
head in the MCU? Okay.
He's got the voice and the face for it, for sure.
Okay. Because I like those. I like those two. I like Benny or Paul. Now here's the third one. He recently played a big villain, who as bald as Voldemort. What about Nicholas Hoult?
Ooh.
I think he might be too baby-faced, but he just
He's
played
too
Lex Luthor, and you've
baby-faced.
seen that movie, and I feel like that would be a good comparison point. Do you feel like his Luthor performance says anything about a Voldemort potential?
Could he do the role? Absolutely, he could, and I would be there and support him. But I think he does look too baby-faced for it.
Even Lex Luthor, was he not able to differentiate the baby-facedness?
He was mostly just angry all the time, so I didn't really see a baby.
Voldemort's quite angry, right?
He's angry, but he's politically angry, which I feel like is
Politically
old.
angry.
You need to look older for that kind of a thing.
Okay. Yeah, that one was my third and lowest pick, but I like my Paul Bettany and Cumberbatch picks. But you
Paul
got any other
Bettany's
ones for
good.
me here?
What about a Tom Hiddleston?
Tom Hiddleston. Interesting. Huh. He's played a villain before. Now, I think I would not be able to unsee the Loki because he's shooting green beams
Yeah,
and he's
that's
holding
right.
wands and stuff. I think he could be... I could see him in this realm for sure. I'm trying to picture another character. Like, he could be like a Lupin or something, maybe. I don't know if they
That'd be a
cast
good
Lupin
pick.
yet.
I would like that, actually, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What about where is he? Jude Law.
I knew you were gonna say Jude Law. Well, Jude Law was fucking Dumbledore in Strange Beasts.
Oh
or
right,
whatever,
yeah, we can't
right?
do that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Simon Pegg. Nick Frost is in there. You got to get Simon Pegg in there too.
Oh, as Voldemort though. Oh my god. Okay, let me Google Simon Pegg bald. Bald. Let me see what that looks like. I mean, he has pretty light hair. I'm not actually getting a nice bald pic. I don't know. He's too goofy for me, I think. Now I'm sure he does some great serious roles in his day, but to me he's a bit too silly. But and Nick Frost, because that fits more for Hagrid. But I can't. Is there a scene of Voldemort and Hagrid together? Because obviously those two
Voldemort
are
and
a
Hagrid?
dynamic duo. But is there a scene? If that casting did happen, would we ever get a scene between those
The
two? Would they
only
reference Shaun of the Dead or
time-
something?
The only time you get a scene of them together is Deathly Hallows Part 2 when they're in the Forbidden Forest, the Death Eaters, and Voldemort's standing there, and Hagrid's there, and Harry walks out, and Hagrid's like, Harry, no! You shouldn't be here! And then Voldemort's like, and then kills Harry.
Yeah, just like that. Okay. Okay, so we'd have to wait 8 years, but we'd eventually get the scene
That's right.
between two old buddies.
Exactly.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
HP 2027, 2 years away.
27. There you go. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to cap off before we close this chapter?
I think the chapter is done, and we can close the book on this episode of WG.
All right.
Boys.
Weevil Boy is closing this chapter.
Throw
out.
those cards off the boat, Taylor.
Yeah, throw them. We should
Throw
get that.
the
I'm gonna have to
Zodiac cards off
download
the
that. I'm gonna have to get a
Yeah.
clip of that and put it in here.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. Well, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. More content always around the corner here at GeekVerse Podcast. So stay tuned, and we'll see you in the search bar.
Bye-bye.